All right, everyone, welcome to the intermediate level of station building. This is going to assume you have the player HQ already, or you have a production already ready going, and you have some money to get some blueprints. If you do have your research tab up here, you've been playing a little bit, you have your player HQ, and you have the technology to steal blueprints, that can help you out for sure. But for now, in this tutorial, we'll just do things by purchasing them from our faction representative. And looking at our logical overview for our solar power plant we built last time, you can see that we are producing energy cells and selling everything but one out of our container, and we are ready to expand our current station. So the question is, well, what do we expand to? One good thing we can do is look at the demand for everything in the local area. With our filters cleared, we can see what is in high demand in the space that we know about. So we can see that quantum tubes are in high demand, as well as hull parts here at the Argonne shipyard. And you think, okay, quantum tubes, looks good, 381 per. What does it take to build that? That's where our encyclopedia will come in. So head up to the encyclopedia. We will type in quantum, or at least QUA. Look at the wares for quantum tubes. So when we look at our quantum tubes, we can see that the production method, so it needs 40 energy cells. We've got that, but wait, graphene, wait, superfluid coolant. So we cannot buy a quantum tube production and just stick it on our station without externally buying graphene and superfluid coolant. We could, but that would be a cost out of our pocket, and we're trying to be self-sufficient here. So one step below would be graphene or superfluid coolant. If we look in our filters and we go to graphene, we can see what the demand of graphene is in our local area. So right now, we know just on the other side of Argonne Prime, in this quantum tube factory, as you can see, this tube factory needs that graphene. So we do have a potential cell partner. But really, they seem to be the only one. There's a place over here that is buying graphene, the hull part factory. So it looks like graphene is also part of hull part production, which, of course, hull parts are in high demand at the shipyard and the wharf. So graphene might not be a bad thing to get into. We'll open up our encyclopedia. We'll type in GRA, go to the wares, look at graphene. So all it needs is energy cells and methane. Methane is a mineable gas. This is something we can do because we have the energy cells. All we need to do is mine some methane, and we can make graphene. So we are going to head over to our local Argonne faction representative. You just go to a faction representative that you are friendly with. It doesn't have to be Argonne, of course. And we are going to look for the blueprints needed for this construction. So here at the faction representative, we're going to talk and say, I would like to buy a blueprint. And this menu comes up. There are different blueprints. Let's go through each one. Modules, production modules. This is where your graphene production would be. Only 206,000 credits to purchase. Awesome. We'll go ahead and put that in the queue. But this is where the final materials are. Everything that is needed to build final materials are right here in the production modules. Your build modules, fabrication bays, and maintenance bays. You can see the maintenance bays are much, much cheaper than fabrication. That is, the maintenance bay will allow repairs of ships, sell you things like satellites and things like that. This is the equipment dock. However, it will not build ships. Those are fabrication bays. So if you're thinking, oh, let me try to build my own little navy with small and medium ships, you need 116 million just to even start that process. Storage modules are liquid, solid, and container storage in the small, medium, and large variety. Habitation modules are to get people on board your station. It helps production. Defense modules are things like the administrative center. This is how you capture new territory. We'll go ahead and purchase one of those. I think in the next episode, we're going to talk about claiming space. Dock modules, as you can see, we have our basic docks here. Docks that fit 3 medium ships and 6 small ships. And also we have piers. 1 dock pier, a short dock pier, and a 3 dock pier. I don't think we're going to be doing such things as heavy transport. We're not a shipyard. We don't need a 3-dock T-pier. So a 1-dock short pier will help us along. And other modules are where we can find connectors as well as observation decks, sensor arrays, things to help our station out. Once you do get a fabrication bay, your ship blueprints are also here. So you're thinking, oh, well, after I spend the $180 million to get a small fabrication bay, I can make my own ships, right? Nope. You got to buy the blueprints for those specific ships in the small, medium, large, and XL variety. To go on those ships and your own turrets, we have weapons equipment. So yeah, you can make a chassis, but you can't launch the thing because you have no engine. So here are all of the weapons that go on the ships, as well as the turrets. These turrets go on the stations as well as the ships in both the medium and large variety. The shield generators for your ships, your engines for your ships, the thrusters for your ships, missiles if you wanted to do missiles, drones, building cargo defense if you are building a shipyard or an equipment dock and you want them to be able to sell cargo drones, building drones, defense drones, all that good stuff, that is in there. Consumables, there is your satellites, nav beacons, mines, and countermeasures for flares. So as you can see, there are blueprints for literally every step of the process, and in order to get a complete one, that's a lot of purchasing. So even from here, we are going to open our map. We are going to go down to the solar power plant. We are going to go to the plan build section, and we're going to fit our graphene production on it, 95,000. All right, so that kind of sits up top. You can see it is a bottom mounted production. So we will actually need to add some connectors. So we will do a vertical connector there to get it up and above. We'll go back to our production modules graphene and set it and confirm it. But remember what I said about checking your production to make sure everything is awesome? Go to the logical station overview and you can see a big red exclamation mark saying the station is missing storage of this type. We need to store methane in liquid storage. So yes, that is another blueprint that we have to acquire. But one good thing that this does allow us to do is sort of pre-plan. So if we open up the graphene production, we can see that we can produce 1,440 graphene per hour at a cost of 4,800 methane per hour. So if we want to keep things going for at least an hour, we need a container that holds 4,800 in the liquid variety. Luckily, the small liquid storage containers are big enough to do that, so we will have to buy that blueprint as well. So what we'll do, we'll right-click on that graphene production and remove. We will right-click on the vertical and remove because it builds from top to bottom. We will go into our storage and click small liquid storage. We can actually fit that right on the back of the storage module that is already there. We'll confirm those module changes as well. And now we will get our vertical 2 on top of there and our graphene refinery right there and confirm those module changes. Once that is confirmed and we look at our logical station overview, it's saying it's empty, but we do have liquid storage. With the raw production process checked, we need 4,800 methane. So in order to accommodate the methane mining, we will have to buy a gas miner. So from the wharf, right-click, buy a ship. A medium ship is fine, or we could do a small liquid miner. But we need gas in this case. Minimum preset to get it off the ground. We will keep our combat engines on it. We will keep our combat thrusters at Mark 1. We'll put on a set of shields. Our turrets for defense, we could go fairly cheap and just do some pulse lasers for basic defense. Software, the docking computer, sure. And then trading software as it moves from point to point. As far as consumables go, a resource probe wouldn't be out of the question. I'm actually just going to pick up a resource probe and look for methane there. For crew, we have our captain. We'll just put on 4 service crew. Why not? Add that to the shopping list. They need 95 hull parts to start that build. We can actually help that out. Back to the plan build because we now have to set a budget and we have to set a builder. So we have 103 energy cells already like sitting in the production resources. What we can do is, since we are providing our own energy cells, we can open up energy cells and put in our me-only trade rule so that no energy traders are going to come and try to sell us those last 50 energy cells. We'll accept the estimate, 312,000 credits. That will start putting out buy orders. And it says there's no peer, which we did go and buy a peer on that. So a dock module, a 1 dock short peer, and nice and convenient, it can fit right on the end of that solar panel. So let's click that, confirm those module changes there. So this big square now off to the left of our build storage is the runway, essentially, for the large ship. So as we build out this station, we can go down below, we can go back, we can go to the right, even up and down, but we have to make sure that this runway to this 1 argon dock short pier stays clear and open. And luckily I didn't do a thing. Our Saka solar power plant is transferring those 882 extra energy cells automagically. And since that is the case, I'll just turn that trade rule back on because those energy cells are in and we're all set. Our estimate is skyrocketed. So we'll go ahead and accept that estimate and top that off. Assign a builder, see if there is one nearby. Yes, indeed, that builder that just built our stuff is running around. So we will hire him right back. To help with the hull part production, we're going to turn on the trade filter. We're going to check hull parts, make sure that our ship is selected over here, find who is selling it. Just buy up like all of it because we're going to be making a profit here. Confirm that.
Tell me to take off.
And then sell it back to the wharf. And it already, got its shipment in. So we'll just make a little bit money on that. So looking at our planned build here, the 312 Claytronics are spoken for. 1 minute, a Paranid will drop off 40. 4 minutes later, the Holy Order of Pontifex will drop off 220. In 13 minutes, a Talati will drop off 52. That will complete our entire Claytronics run. And just like last time, hull parts are going to be the name of the game. So we can use our big ship to go pick those up. Turn on our trade filter, select hull parts. We need 1,197. So we'll go to the cheapest hull parts we can find, which are actually, out here. Right click, pull in 1,197. Confirm. And drop those right off here at the plant. Confirm that. And now when we left click, go to the plan build, that will be everything. Our Condor Sentinel will bring all 1,197 hull parts, and that will start the construction because this solid liquid storage, or this small liquid storage, needs 189 hull parts. No one else is coming before that Condor. So once the Condor gets in, the entire chain will kick off. So in our logical station overview, we need methane. So since our miner is already done, it wouldn't hurt to have that miner go fill up with methane right now. And so that we can start doing some trades and whatnot, we're going to buy just a medium trader here. We'll do a Mercury with a minimum preset. It needs 123 hull parts, no worries. Keep our combat thrusters and engines. Put on some shields. Throw on some pulse lasers for some defense. Docking computer, trading software. We don't need any of those. And a crew, we'll just put on, say, 9 of them. And go ahead and add that to the shopping list and confirm that order. Now to get some resource probes. So we're here on our small ship. We're going to right-click the wharf, upgrade repair, go to the consumables, and grab, say, 5 resource probes. Add that to the shopping list. Confirm. All right, our trader is ready. We will park them right by our power plant, just like we have our gas miner parked there. That way they are ready to do our business as soon as we start getting producing, which we can actually kick off that process now. If we look at our graphene production, we show the raw. It says it needs 1,200 energy cells per hour to keep going. So if our goal was just to keep 1 hour's worth of energy cells at one time, we can head over here to our energy cells and set all but 1,200. Whoops. So all but, click that number, 1,200, and press enter. what that's going to do is keep 1,200 energy cells in reserve at all times to keep that graphene refinery process going. And now our trader can sell off all of this excess. So what we'll do, we'll click on our Mercury Vanguard, remove this order, have that Mercury Vanguard selected, right-click the solar power plant, and trade for Commander Alpha. So now that trader is in charge, trading with Saka Solar Plant 1. Energy cells is already selected. The manager is now looking at every station that we have good information about to see who needs energy cells, keeping in mind not to go below that 1,200 that we have in reserve. So looking for 4,400 energy cells to sell. And it found one. Automatically, the manager is sending our trader to Saka Solar Power Plant 1 to get 2,620 of our energy cells that we have, and sending it to the Argon Scanning Array factory in Hatikva's Choice. So when that trader makes that trade and sells those 2,620 energy cells, that cash will be put into the solar power plants fund, not our pocket. So it's kind of an independent action. When that trade is complete, the trader will automatically start looking for the next trade, probably coming back, getting more energy cells, and going to the next place. But because of our manager's low skill at 1.5 stars or whatever, we can only go one jump from Argon Prime. So either Hatikva's Choice, the Reach, or down into Second Contact to Flashpoint. Those are the only places that this trader is going to go. As the manager improves his skill, we can go 2 jumps, 3 jumps, 4 jumps, 5 jumps. So that is an ongoing process. With every trade that this manager does, the manager gains manager skill. So our trader is on the way. Let's take a look at our logical overflow, and you can see we still have an abundance of energy cells. We haven't gone below that threshold that we set. So all profit, all good. And no one is coming to buy our energy cells directly at 21 credits per. If we do find methane in a further away location, we don't have to attach the miner to mine for Commander. What we can do is set up a repeat trade order that if we find methane, say, in Hatikva's Choice or further downfield in, say, Silent Witness, we can set up a repeat order to load up on methane and then dump everything at this station, and then it'll go back and forth. All right, good deal. Our Mercury Vanguard has made its way to the scanning array factory and sold those goods. So if we go to the player information, account management, we can accept all estimates here and see that that sale alone netted us 56,199 credits. We'll go ahead and put that in our pocket. So as soon as our Mercury took off, you see this orange, no matching trade offers found in range. That goes back to the price that the solar power plant is trying to sell them at. If we look at our logical overview and we look at energy cells, right now our price is set for $21.61. And if no station is willing to pay 21 credits per energy cell, our trader will not make the trade because that's the price that we've set. We could either manually lower this price a little bit lower, or in the meantime, we can actually just conduct a manual trade. So we'll select energy cells. We'll select our trader here. We'll scroll out and see who needs energy cells. So 22 over here in Silent Witness. All right, cool. We could probably grab about 3,000 energy cells and stay above our limit. We have to manually do that because we could just pull everything off this solar power plant. So we'll right click, pull about 3,000 energy cells off. Confirm that. And then we will go ahead and sell them over here. Boom. And just for my own sake, then I will give it a fly and wait command to park right next to the power plant once it's done with that trade, because he's going to be more than one jump away from Argon Prime. He's going to Silent Witness. So it's one of those things where it's like the manager might not see the trader out there. It's just for my sanity to park it here. Once it gets there, the manager will then look for more energy cell trades. And now that we have our resource probes, let's go ahead and remove all orders and start dropping some resource probes. Let's try right here in second contact to Flashpoint, deploy a civilian resource probe. See if we get lucky with some decent methane. And if this resource probe doesn't show us any methane, we'll just pick it right back up. No sense in marking this as a destination. So no methane whatsoever. All right, sounds good. Shuttle resource probe collect deployable. So in this particular save, I haven't rode the highway yet, so I'll go ahead and do a lap on the highway and keep an eye out for any methane clouds or gas clouds that we might be able to put a resource probe in. It's also allowing us to uncover more factories that might actually want our energy cells. So we're serving two purposes here. There you go, Pontifex's claim. We found a bit of a gas field here, so we'll go ahead and put a resource probe over there. Right here in the blue, civilian resource probe. Hope for the best. Show me methane. All right, 2.5 stars. We've got some methane here. This is good enough for me. So let's go ahead and get our miner started, shall we? We left click on the Sunder Gas miner. We head down to this area here. Right click, mine for methane. And then when that is done, we will have it fly back here and park up and wait for that liquid storage to be complete. Once that liquid storage is complete, we can set a repeat order immediately for it to pick up everything or fill its hold up with methane as much as it can and then come and deliver that to our power plant. Now the trade-off in travel and mining time. Remember, we have to keep a certain number of methane in this thing per hour. So if our miners can bring back 4,800 methane every hour, we can get by with one mining ship. If they can't, go there, pick up the methane, and come back in a quick enough time, we might have to get a second miner to sort of offset that or purchase methane for ourselves. One thing also to consider is our storage. So we have 50,000 meters cubed of container storage, but that graphene will also need that container storage and be sharing that big box. So how much is one graphene in the grand scheme of things? So we will head to our encyclopedia, look up graphene in our wares, and the size is 20 meters cubed for every single graphene. So it's not a one-to-one. We can't fit 50,000 graphene in there. Every time we make one, that fills up 20 meters cubed. Our raw production process shows us we make 1,440 graphene per hour. So that's 28,000 meters cubed of graphene every single hour. With our 50,000 container, you know, we'll have over half of it filled with graphene. The other half can be energy cells. If we were expanding past graphene to another production that graphene goes into, we might have to put down another container storage to allow that to happen. Otherwise, we're just going to get too full. We could also conversely lock down how much storage space that we are using for energy cells. So, you know, we could say, no, only 10,000 possible of our 50,000 container can fit energy cells. The rest can be dedicated to graphene. That's something that we can modify on the fly. But looking at our planned build, our Condor has made its delivery, meaning the solar power plant, if we go into build, will have all of everything it needs. Its estimate will be 0, and we are 4 minutes away from our liquid storage being built. So our miner, if it is about on its way back, which I kind of hope it is, where in the gravy is it? So there's our miner working there, picking up methane. Does it have anything in it yet? So nothing. It's still working on that methane. We did complete that budget though. So funds for station construction, accept all estimates. We'll get our 325,000 credit back. All right, just like that, it is full. We have 1,733 methane. So basically, we need that miner to make at least 4 trips an hour, once every 15 minutes, to provide 1 hour's worth of graphene production. Now, of course, we're going to be storing methane before the graphene production comes online, so we'll have a little bit of a buffer. But once it gets going, you know, full song, just make sure we're doing at least 4 trips an hour. And it's almost like I planned it. Our trader is coming back, and our miner is coming back at the same time. Now the liquid storage is done. So we'll tell the miner to remove all orders and wait. I see. In our logical overview, methane, right now it's not buying anything, so our miner doesn't have the option of selling to it. So we will create a buy offer for it and immediately say me only. So now we have an automatic buy amount of 16,000 methane. Only us are going to have the option of delivering methane. So now we can head to our gas miner, set up our repeat orders and confirm. Right click on the power plant, sell to not the build storage, but the power plant itself. We're going to sell it methane. We're not going to keep any. And the minimum price, we'll just drop it right down because, you know, we want them to always deliver. So now it's going to execute that trade. And then the next thing it's going to do is head back into Pontifex's claim, right click, mine methane. For our trader, it's flying and waiting. We'll just cancel that. It will go back into looking to sell energy cells. Right now, we currently have an abundance of about 3,000 energy cells. Hopefully, it can find a buyer. If not, we can do another manual trade. Now, because methane is using our liquid storage, and that's the only thing using our liquid storage, if we were storing another gas, then we would run into storage allocation issues, but we want to dedicate the entire liquid storage to methane. So that is all set. That has been delivered. Our miner is departing, and the next thing it is going to do is head back down to Pontifex's claim to get more methane, and there it goes. And our Mercury Vanguard couldn't find anyone buying energy cells at the price that we had set. So let's just do another energy cell run. We'll trade with the power plant, pull in 3,000 energy cells one more time, and see who would like some. Ooh, so down there in the Pontifex. So we can dump all 3,000 energy cells there, get 66,000 credits back, and then bring ourselves back home. So with the density of methane here, I think we can make 4 runs an hour. The Sundergas Vanguard is now coming back, ready to deliver the second run. And there we go. The graphene production is now kicking off. So if we right-click Logical Overview, you can see that the graphene is now running. Time until resources depleted, 19 minutes and 45 seconds. Each cycle is about 4 minutes. So in 4 minutes time, we will get the first batch of graphene. We are selling everything. We can really push that through by saying, you know what, sell all but one. We don't want to hold on to any graphene, and keep the automatic pricing competitive. If we were to extend this into another production chain that uses graphene, we could then set that sell all but, just like we did for the energy cell. We were saying, hey, sell everything but 1,200 energy cells. We could do that same thing for graphene on the next production that we go into. So we can just keep chaining these one right after another. Of course, it might use methane as well. It might use ore. So we would need to get solid container storage and a actual asteroid miner, and make sure there's enough space in the container for that. Our container space, it's now shrunk from 50,000 to 13,300 by the manager. That's the automatic storage allocation. So we can handle 13,000 energy cells. We're still holding on to 1,200, and look what that did to the price. Because we need to get rid of energy cells much earlier, the price will go down for energy cells much quicker, which will make our trader more active. Because we're not asking for 22 credits per energy cell anymore, we're asking for 20. We can also put in more drones. Now that we have the graphene refinery, we could say, you know what? 5 more there and 5 more defense drones. Boom! Our energy cells from our surplus automatically went in. So we have those 500 energy cells ready to go. Now we just need 200 smart chips and 10 drone components. But notice, in our account, we have no money for the manager to buy these things. If we weren't building drones, and we thought we were absolutely self-sufficient in everything we did, we could run that at 0. Because, you know, our own miners are bringing us methane. Our own sunlight is giving us energy cells. That's it. But since we have to do smart chips and drone components, we can either give them the whole kit and caboodle, or you say, you know what? Here's 100,000. And now, if there are anybody selling drone components or smart chips, that 100K will cover those costs. So the gas Vanguard is about here, about to drop off the Sunder. So we will see how much time this boosts us. As soon as that methane goes in, the time until resources depleted will go up, so we can see what each load will do as far as the clock is concerned. So it's up to 36 minutes now, and it's immediately going to go get more stuff. So I think one miner can do the work for us just by eyeballing this. And in 7 seconds, we are going to have our first batch of graphene, which will be right about there. 96 graphene in that cycle. If someone wanted it, they could buy 95 graphene at 230 credits per pop. And this goes to show how big graphene is. We are using 13,000 of our 50, so 37,000 or so for graphene. That 37,000 or so can only fit 1,800 graphene inside of it. So, yep, those things are pretty big boys. All right, our Mercury Vanguard is back. We'll tell him not to fly and wait, see if he can pick up another automatic trade order on his own. Remember, we are running energy cells selling at 20.04 credits. So if anyone within one jump is needing energy cells at 20 bucks a pop, we can run that. Oh, okay. Well, because we have 100K in the managerial account and we have it on trade for the commander, that also counts for these. So instead of selling energy cells, the Mercury Vanguard is actually going to buy our 200 smart chips and bring that back. So in our logical overview, we can see that the Mercury Vanguard has claimed that. So then the only thing we'll need are 10 drone components, which
will be undocking soon.
We're going to go ahead and do that. So then trade with solar power plant, drop those 10 drone components in and confirm that. So looking there, yep, our experimental shuttle is bringing our 10 drone components back. Our Mercury Vanguard is bringing our 200 smart chips back. So now our Mercury Vanguard will not go looking for these drone components. We have claimed that. Any buyers for methane? Not yet. Any extra buyers from energy cells? Not yet. The price has dropped a half a credit down to 19.5. So by the time that Mercury Vanguard gets back, we might find people who are willing to purchase our excess energy cells at 19 per. But looking at the planned build, we have everything made. We have our 2 storage modules. We have our dock pier. We have our cross connectors. Our estimate is 0. That Antigone construction vessel will head off. And now we have the ability right here for large and XL ships to come right in and trade with us. So if there's any big energy traders now looking for energy cells, if they want to buy, 2,000 or 3,000 energy cells in one go, we can now accommodate. And essentially, by having a small container storage, we are going to be providing the cheapest graphene because, if we had a large container, it would take a longer time to fill up and that price would stay higher for longer. So as we fill up quick, this price will start dropping quick and people might come to us first, which is netting us money in the pocket. If our miner can keep up 3 minutes to drop off another 1,700 methane, if we can maintain that, which I think we are, it will get here with 25-ish minutes to go and then boost up probably over an hour. So one miner can do the work for the methane. In fact, we may actually fill up this liquid storage. And then by all means, we could add another liquid storage on top of that to keep that miner busy, to keep that cushion bigger, and then go into more advanced things. So one cool thing, we're here on our station. There is the vertical.
I'll wait for you to tell me to take off.
There is our graphene refinery. We can look up and see it. One bottleneck that might occur with this one medium dock is we have a medium gas miner, we have a medium trader. If they got to the same place at once, one would land and then it would be placed into sort of a storage hold inside the dock. The other would land on top of it, do its business, take off, and then the other one would come back out of storage. So it's not one of those things where someone would wait outside for the one that got there first to take off. It would put the one that got there first in the hold and then do its business. So one thing that we might run into, but with 6 small docks, those will be okay. With one large and XL, though, they would start queuing up because there's really no storage for them to go into here. So we go from 26 minutes until resources are completed to 50. All right, yeah, so we are increasing, like we are staying ahead of it. But if we did grow, yeah, we would need another miner for sure. And our trader is bringing the last of the drone or the smart chips, dropping those off. We should get 40 drones, quick, fast, and in a hurry. That will lower the station account budget needed. Oh, I see. Since we added that extra pier section, that little nose, that gave us the ability to run 5 extra drones. So 5 more cargo drones. Energy cells go in. And actually that would help the Mercury Vanguard go find those extra pieces. One thing that I see here that I can modify is here in our energy cells, we have our cell all but 1200. What that did was the manager said, okay, well, if you want 1200 at a minimum, we're going to make sure that we can buy up to 1200 in case we go low. We shouldn't ever go low. So I'm going to uncheck the automatic buy amount, buy up to 1, because this is an automatic sunlight giving thing. So the sunlight doesn't care that we only want 1. The sunlight is going to keep feeding us. So in this case, and only this case, I set that down to just buy only 1. So no trader will ever, we would have to be absolutely empty and the sunlight not shining, and we would then only buy 1 anyway until that sunlight comes back. So that's pretty safe, and there we go. So a Zyarth Energy Trader BOA is coming to buy 4,350 energy cells at $21.47 per. Interesting enough, no buyers for our graphene yet, and that seemed to open the floodgates a bit. So now the Antigone are coming to buy 241, but the Zyarth coming in to buy 4,350 is going to be the lion's share of these energy cells, and it's like the Antigone is buying down to the 1,200 limit. So it's good that we set those limits, otherwise they might have bled us dry, stopping our graphene production. So just keeping that limit on those energy cells is pretty good. I'm waiting for our first graphene order. It's down to 197 per graphene, and we have 576 graphene ready to head out the door. So if we let this station to our own devices as it is self-sustaining, we could go into our player information, account management, accept all estimates. That would put 665,000 credits into it, and then anything over that would come back as profit, or we could just drop that to 0 and get back our 85,000 credits if we wanted to. I like hitting my accept all estimates button once I get, 10, 12 stations all firing at once. Accept all estimates is a handy button to pay the stations that need to be paid, get back the profits from stations that have made a profit. It's just mainly for me. So I'll accept all estimates and confirm. And then once those Zyarth and the Antigone come in and buy these energy cells, we'll see that profit waiting on that graphene. And I believe the budget should actually go down once these components are brought, because we don't need to pay that cost for more drones. Yes, indeed it did. So we can actually accept all estimates again to get that 3,150 credits back from that purchase. And there is our big buyer, the Zyarth Energy Trader BOA 236, coming to buy those 4,000 energy cells. So this is where we can see, 1, 4,000 of our energy cells disappear, and 2, see the profits in that station account because they're going to get paid, and we can see what the difference is. Still no graphene buys. And then right behind it is that Antigone, and luckily I think that is a small ship. So we have a medium ship that's going to land in the medium dock, And then this small ship, that energy trader, is going to land on one of the sides, so we won't have a bit of a cluster going here. Yep, so small ship docked there, medium ship docked there. They're both going to take out chunks of our energy cells. And there we go. We're down to 1,915 energy cells. And look at our station account. When we accept all estimates, we will see that 79,254 credits worth of energy cells has been bought. And at this point, Kill Aldon's management skill is really harming our trader, and would be harming our miner too. Since our miner has to do 1 jump, 2 jump, 3 jumps, if we could find a 3-star manager, we could then put this Sundergas on trading for commander to automatically do that, and a 3-jump range would allow our Mercury Vanguard to go 3 jumps out and try to find some people that really need energy cells just outside of Argon Prime. And because Graphene is not here in the where basket, I'll remove his assignment as a trader, and I will reassign him to trade for Commander Alpha. And now Graphene is in the list of items that this trader is looking to trade. So now if we can't find an energy cell deal, we might be able to find a graphene deal. So no matching trades even for graphene. So our local buyer of graphene is right over there, 1 jump away, at 179 credits per graphene that they want. Looking at our logical overview, we're at 176. So actually that should kick off, just as I thought. Now, on the next go around, so we're picking up 410 of our graphene and taking it to that quantum tube factory. They only needed 410, so that will still leave us with, 300 or so. 768 graphene fills up half our container. So we're grabbing, all of that stuff. Right, I stopped by the Trader's Corner. They only have a basic seminar for management. I don't know if we can give this to him being over 1 star. Probably not, but I'll buy 1 just to see. All right, over to the manager's office.
Can I help?
Give a seminar. Nope, requires a 1-star crew management.
Goodbye.
We might get lucky, I'm not sure. Our own trader aboard this station? Yes, you
Can I
work
help?
for me. Can
Here
you
you
give
go.
me a 1-star manager? Yes, indeed. Outstanding. Confirm that.
Good.
All
Can I
right,
help?
Kyle, my man, give a seminar. 1-star crew manager.
Goodbye.
We'll back up goodbye, and now his management, when we look at him again, 2 3/4 stars. So now when we look at the behavior of our Mercury Vanguard that is attached to this station, max gate distance to buy 2, max gate distance to sell 2. So now we have 1 more jump we can go. So say we can head into Hatikva's Choice if we unseen that. Silent Witness, we now have access to. 1 jump past second contact to Flashpoint is in True Sight. So this, 8,000 credit purchase of getting him 1 more range could really pay off in the very first deal. We still have to run our repeat order for our miner since that's 4 jumps away, or 3 and 4. Yeah, we would need a 4-star manager to go mining that far away from Argon Prime, but as far as trading is concerned, we've just opened up a lot more partners. And that's already paid off. The Mercury Vanguard from its destination has seen an order to fill 2,114 energy cells it's taking somewhere. Yep, from our power plant to the Argon microchip factory in Argon Prime. So we didn't need that 2nd level, but we found a station that wanted to pay the price that we had on it. So all is well. And I think you get the idea. So if you wanted to expand, what would you do? So graphene. Let's head to our encyclopedia, see what graphene is used in. And this would be where graphene used in hull parts, advanced composites, quantum tubes, and plasma conductors. Now, hull parts are needed by shipyards and wharfs. So if we wanted to move into the hull part range, hull parts are made with graphene and refined metals, as well as energy cells. So our next step would be get refined metal production. Refined metal production requires energy cells and ore, meaning yes, we would need the solid container storage. So do what we did for the graphene, except for the ore. Get that solid storage up. We would need to buy an ore miner, and then just kind of look and see, because 90 extra energy cells per hour is, really not that much of a stress. We would have to see where an ore-rich place would be to get that ore. And that's 14 meters cubed for every refined metal. So do we put in another container storage? Probably. Once that refined metal is done, then we head into the hull parts. And that needs our refined metals and our graphene and our energy cells. Each hull part is 12 meters cubed. So if you don't have the container space for it, you would have to expand your container space. But you would have energy cells that you could sell off, as well as excess graphene and refined metals. So just like we did for the energy cells here, where we said, hey, we only need 1,200 energy cells in our resources per hour production. Once we added on the refined metals, it would need more energy cells. So we would take that 1,200 and add whatever the refined metals needed, and then change our energy cell all but to match that. And then once the refined metals production is in and we attach hull parts to the end, that would have its own energy cell requirement on top of the 3. So it just compounds. So go step by step when you add production modules. Go one production module at a time and get yourself nice and stable. If your miners are not keeping up, get more miners. If your miners are keeping up but you're running out of storage, build more storage. And just keep going one module at a time, and eventually you're going to have a big station. Next time, I will show you how to steal blueprints, because as you saw, those blueprints are pretty expensive. So I'll show you how to steal a production blueprint. So let's say hull parts. And I'll also show you my shipyard, basically my finished product going all the way out to building my own ships and what that flow looks like. So I hope you will join me for that.